Good morning, friends. It's time for our card of the day again. What I usually do, you'll only hear me shuffle a couple of times in the mornings because I shuffle a lot anyway, but I'll also, a lot of times, after I shuffle, you may hear me mutter under my breath something about, okay, now I'm going to split the deck or something like that. Because usually what I'll do after I shuffle is when I sit the cards down, I'll, if you can see this up the sun's glare, I'll split it in half. Instead of taking whatever card's right on top, I'll just grab it randomly somewhere inside, and that will be the card. Just so that, in addition to the shuffling, there's also, an element of uncertainty, just where in the deck you're going to fall, things like that. Just in case it wasn't a great shuffle or something. Let's see what we get today. Our card for today is the Nine of Pentacles. Now, what this card usually means, the one word that I think of, I guess, is success. But it's an odd kind of success. I think of it more as a lesson about how to achieve real success than anything else. You see the woman here. She's surrounded by her garden. She has the falcon on her wrist. Her other hand is resting on the vine where the pinnacles are growing. What that represents is the way she's touching the pinnacles that grow. That represents, since she can touch it, it means she's aware of it. She knows it's there. So what that is saying is she has sort of mastered the ability to be aware of the good things in her life. A lot of times we're not. It goes back to the Five of Cups card, where a lot of times we spend so much time focusing on the things we don't have, on the spilled cups, on the things we wish we had, on the things we lost, on the things we've never had, that we forget to be aware of the good things. Well, she is supremely aware of that because she has her hand resting on it, almost as if to say, this is mine. I did this. And she did do that. The other meaning that I always think of behind this card is discipline, because that's what the falcon means. See the falcon resting on her wrist? That represents the discipline that she's had to consistently apply to her life to grow all of those pinnacles. But it's also, it's kind of, let me think of how I could express it. It's, I guess, the awareness, the hand, it's being aware of what to do and what not to do in life. A lot of times we get in this habit of fighting every single battle that comes our way. Somebody says something we don't like, I'm going to give them a piece of my mind. Or somebody posts something on the internet that gets on our nerves, and we feel the need automatically to respond to it and say, you're wrong, you're bad, whatever the hell it is. You see it constantly today in politics. People fighting fights for which there are no rewards. The meaning of this card, she has looked at all of the battles in her life, and she's decided which one has a reward and which one doesn't. And she doesn't waste her time on battles that don't have a reward. If she did that, then she wouldn't have the time, the energy, or anything else to fight the battles that do matter whenever they finally come her way. She'd be exhausted, worn out from, battling every tiny little disappointment or slight or anything else. So that's what it's telling us. That's our reading for the day, is whenever we come across something we don't like, something we feel that, when you feel it inside, when you think, you feel that energy rise up, and your first instinct is, I'm going to say something, I'm going to do something. Ask yourself, is it worth it? Is there anything to be gained by it? Or is it just a knee-jerk reaction of the ego? Reminds me of the story of, I believe it was David and Goliath. Yeah, David and Goliath. When David is getting ready to face Goliath, his first question is, what do I get for defeating him? That's what he asked the people in charge. What do I get if I win? Because if the answer is nothing, or, well, you get accolades, you get to say you beat the giant, whatever it is, he would have said, yeah, never mind, I'm out of here. I'm going to do something that pays a little better than this. And that's what we have to ask ourselves as we go through the day. What is to be gained from every battle that comes our way? If there's nothing to be gained from it, let it go. Who cares? Let it burn itself out. Let it fade away. If there is something to be gained from it, then you go head on at it. Okay, guys, that's it for today. You guys are giving me a lot of really good stuff, ideas for future podcasts, and a lot of it sprung off of the thing we talked about yesterday, or the thing we talked about in the last Magic Revolution podcast about morphic fields and about Heart Island and things like that. You guys messaged me a lot of really good questions. I mean, you probably sent me enough stuff that it made me start thinking, and it kind of excited me a little bit because it gave me ideas for probably at least a good 3 full podcasts of just going deeper into this by answering your questions, things that I didn't even think to include in the original podcast. So I'm pretty excited about that, and thank you for that, and keep sending them. It's like they say, the only stupid question is the question you don't ask. Every single question that occurs to you, send it to me, message me, and I will do my best to get to them. Sometimes it's slow going, but we will eventually get there. Okay, guys, I hope this was somehow useful for you today, that you got something out of this, and I hope you have a good day. Thank you so much, and I will see you back here again tomorrow. Bye-bye.